There is a number that follows you everywhere. 8 hours, every night, without exception. Miss it and you're running a deficit. Repeatedly missing it slowly destroys your health. The number is everywhere. Labels, campaigns, doctors. It's what your doctor mentions when you're tired. Millions measure their nights and find themselves failing. It creates a specific kind of anxiety at 2 a.m. calculating hours left as the number shrinks. Whatever sleep comes now won't add up to 8. Here's what nobody tells you. Nobody knows where it came from. Not in the way a number from a study can be traced. The 8-hour figure has a long history of repetition. Repetition calcified it into something that feels like fact. The science of sleep tells a more complicated story. Sleep is not optional. It is a fundamental biological need. The brain consolidates memories during sleep. It clears metabolic waste through the glymphatic system. It regulates hormones and repairs cellular damage. Animals deprived of sleep die from deprivation itself. The question is never whether sleep matters. Most adults function well on 7 to 9 hours. That range is a distribution, a bell curve, not a law. Some people genuinely thrive on 6 hours of sleep. Some people genuinely need 9 hours to recover. A genetic variant allows some to function on much less. The 8-hour figure was derived from population averages. Understanding the norm means going back further than science. You need to go back to the Industrial Revolution. Before artificial light, human sleep looked very different. Historical sources describe sleep in 2 distinct periods. A first sleep lasting roughly 4 hours after dark, then a natural waking period of 1 to 2 hours, used for prayer, conversation, reflection, or creative work, then a second sleep continuing until natural dawn. This was not insomnia. This was not pathology. This was normal. Thomas Ware confirmed this pattern in a controlled study. Participants in darkness spontaneously shifted to 2 blocks. No one instructed them. Their bodies found it naturally. The 8-hour block emerged from the Industrial Revolution. Fixed working hours, artificial lighting, and alarm clocks. The 8-hour block was not a discovery. It was scheduling. Public health messaging transformed scheduling into biology. Now here is where the science gets genuinely interesting. Chronic short sleep under 6 hours raises cardiovascular risk. These associations are robust, replicated, and significant. But the same research shows something rarely mentioned. Sleeping over 9 hours also associates with poor outcomes. The relationship is U-shaped, not linear. Both extremes, too little and too much, carry risk. Long sleep is often a symptom of illness, not a cause. The association disappears when health conditions are controlled. Sleep quality matters as much as quantity, sometimes more. 8 hours with disrupted sleep stages is less restorative. 6.5 hours with efficient cycling restores more. Alcohol suppresses REM sleep even when hours are maintained. A consistent schedule matters more than hitting a number. The circadian system runs best with consistent timing. 9 irregular hours often produce worse results than 7 consistent. Sleep environment, light, temperature, noise, affects stage quality. None of this complexity is captured in "you need 8 hours." Then there is the question of chronotypes. A chronotype is your biologically determined sleep timing. It is not a preference. It is not a choice. Early chronotypes peak in alertness in the morning. Late chronotypes experience peak alertness in the evening. This is not laziness. The biology is well documented. Modern society is built around the early chronotype. The late chronotype is forced to operate on a misaligned schedule. You cannot will your melatonin to release earlier than biology allows. This mismatch is called social jet lag. Social jet lag has measurable cognitive and metabolic effects. Aligned sleep of 7 hours beats misaligned 8 hours. Sleep researchers distinguish duration from sleep need. Your sleep need is genetically determined and largely fixed. The method to find your need is simpler than you expect. Eliminate the alarm clock for at least 2 weeks. This clears accumulated sleep debt first. Then observe how long you naturally sleep. The duration you settle into is close to your biological need. Most people never do this. Most live in chronic sleep debt. They measure against 8 hours and find permanent failure. Both outcomes are products of measuring against the wrong standard. Chronic restriction below your individual need carries real costs. The evidence does not support 8 hours as a universal need. The figure was derived from self-reported population surveys. It describes where most people in a context happen to sleep. The leap to 8 hours is what you need is a translation error, a number extracted from a distribution and called a law. That translation error produced sleep performance anxiety. The worry about not sleeping that itself prevents sleep. The 2 a.m. calculation happens because of the wrong standard. The morning inventory of hours achieved, a performance review. The 8-hour standard is now the primary reason many can't sleep. The irony is precise. The standard designed to help prevent sleep. So what does the evidence actually support? Sleep is essential. Individual needs vary. Most adults function well on 7 to 9 hours. Quality matters as much as quantity. Chronotype is real and should inform when you sleep. Consistency of schedule matters more than hitting a number. The best measure: waking without an alarm, feeling restored. Maintaining natural alertness through the day without caffeine. Recovering normally from physical and cognitive demands. These are what the science actually answers. 8 hours is not. The number arrived because public health needs numbers. The nuanced message doesn't fit on a campaign poster, so it was simplified, rounded, and delivered as a fact. Somewhere between population average and your bedroom, nuance vanished. And the anxiety that was never necessary began. You are not failing at sleep because you wake rested at 7. You are not succeeding because you spent 8 hours in bed ungroggy. Sleep is not a number, it is a process. A deeply individual, biologically determined, quality-sensitive process. No single figure can capture what sleep actually is. The next time you calculate at 2 a.m., remember this. The number causing the anxiety was never a law. It was an average delivered as a verdict. And you were never just an average. You are a specific biology expressing a specific need. The best you can do is understand your need, not chase a number. It was an average, delivered as a verdict. You were never just an average.